You have your license with you?
Yeah.
Ay, ginoo ko. Uy, kaluoy bata pa to ba?
Wala ba yung mga helmet siguro ni sila?
Kung sila man eh.
Dito sa likod rin.
We are lucky to be alive and not even got hurt, and the people that that hit us, because I don't know how to even start explaining it, because we are still having this like all the traumatic experience that we experienced like a week ago. I mean,
Yeah,
that happened, the accident happened a week ago, and but you know that this is just the time that I can even like start talking about it, because you know, at first we thought that those two guys were dead when the first time we saw them, and even all the people that were out there like, oh, they're dead, but you know, miraculously they survived, and they're in the hospital, and we were just all hanging into the hope of like, I hope they are gonna make it, you know, I hope that.
One of them broke his leg.
Yeah.
And the other one, and they're both still in the hospital. One broke his leg. The other one, not exactly sure what happened to him, but he got transferred to
Tagum
Tagum.
Hospital.
Tagum Hospital, and he was in and out of consciousness. But now I guess he's doing better, and they're going to release him in a day or two.
Yeah, they are gonna release him soon. I mean, he was the one that was actually in a much more bad shape, because he was thrown farther away than the driver.
Right.
So they were in a motorcycle, you know. Well, according to the police report, you know, there's a 50-50 fault, and you know, of course, who wants an accident? So it was probably. It was
an accident.
It was an accident, you know. They were driving too fast, and
I was trying to cross the road.
yeah, he was trying to cross on the road, and it just they hit the multi-cab, because they did not slow down at all.
Yeah.
And
I was trying to cross the road. I saw him way down there, and was crossing the road. And the next thing I know, they hit me. I couldn't tell they were doing 80 or 90 kilometers an hour. I couldn't tell they were going that fast.
Yeah,
I just saw a motorcycle way down there, but
Well-
they didn't even slow down.
yeah, you can tell the impact is so like
The impact was so hard, it
Yeah.
almost turned over the multi-cab. It turned it up on two wheels, and I jerked the wheel
Yeah.
back, and it came back down on its upright, but it almost turned it all the way over.
Yeah, it's a
That's
good
how
thing.
hard they hit.
Yeah, it's a good thing that my Dennis did not let go of the steering wheel. So because I remember being like, you know, turn ways like that, you know, it was like, I feel like I was tilting, like getting ready to fall. And then I remember just the multi-cab being from like that, it boom, you know, it just settled like that. And we are just so lucky that that driver did not hit on the driver's side, because it would have probably killed him, and it would probably kill me also, or maybe
if they would
get
have hit the
injured.
driver's door, we'd all been dead.
Yeah, oh yeah, both of us probably been dead or seriously hurt.
And I think what saved them is the canopy, that fiberglass canopy you had on the back. They hit that,
Yeah.
and of course it tore it completely off.
Yeah.
But I think that
Canopy.
broke their fall a little bit. That
Yeah.
fiberglass canopy.
Thankfully, they were wearing helmets. You know, these guys here don't even wear helmets when they were in a motorcycle. And the canopy was, is, you know, like a
Fiberglass.
fiberglass. It's not a like steel. If it would have been steel, because the kind of like, you know, the window of that canopy, it's like broke into. And plus, it's also a good thing that my sister wasn't there, because before we left, I told her that let's go to Maribin because they have to go to the downtown because I don't know what we did at that time, but we had to go to the downtown, and she was saying that oh, I'll just stay here, but I okay, fine then, but because usually I always tell her, let's just go, why, so we can go like maybe shop together like that in grocery shopping usually. And at that time, she just told me like no, and then I also did not force her. And she was lucky that she was not there because that whole canopy, she would have been sitting in that part where it hit, where the motorcycle hit.
Right.
And I don't know what could have happened to her, but it would have been so
They
so
even
bad.
tore the benches out of the back of the multi-cab.
Yeah, all the benches were. I mean, our multi-cab right now is currently at the police station because they wanna hold it, because part of our agreement with the other party is that not to release the multi-cab, and also their motorcycle is also there. The multi-cab, motorcycles, and their licenses are there. They're gonna hold it until the 2 patients are gonna be released in the hospital.
So this is what happens in the Philippines when you get into an accident. Regardless of fault, the party that is not injured goes to jail. And the party that's injured, of course, they go to the hospital. So
Right.
the police impounded the multi-cab and took me into custody. So we went, and they take you to the police station and hold you there until they can get families from the other party or parties to come down there, and you meet with the other family, and they're the referee, and to see if you can come to an agreement. Now here, if you don't come to agreement, if they don't want to settle with you, then you go to jail, and you stay in jail unless it's a bailable offense, which this
the
was.
police told me that it is
Yeah,
bailable,
but if it's not bailable, or it is, and you don't have the money, you stay in jail until you go to court, which could be 2 to 4 years. So, fortunately, they came down there, and
negotiated with them.
we negotiated. Marissa negotiated with them, and we agreed to give them a certain amount of money, and and agreed to.
That
They had the opportunity to ask for a little more money if they needed to at some point before they got out of the hospital, and they keep possession. The police department keeps possession of the vehicles until they get out of the hospital, and so we had to drop an agreement, agree to one, go to the barangay hall, and they wrote up the agreement, which states that we gave them X amount of money, and that we would, see what we could do if they stayed in the hospital extended length of time. We're not obligated to, but we would see what we could,
Yeah.
and that they can't file charges on it in the future.
We can't file charges
On either
against
party.
against each other.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what the agreement's for.
Yeah.
To keep it out of the courts,
Yeah.
and to try to resolve it that way.
Yeah, because I asked the police about, sir, what is really, what should we do? Well, he goes, don't worry about it, because each time this happened, I mean, probably 95 or 95% at a time. Yeah, they just settle it out of court, like families, because what do they do? Like, there's already a problem, plus they're gonna hire an attorney, plus I
Plus,
mean,
they need money for the hospital.
Right.
And if they file, of course, if they decide to file a charge on me, they wouldn't get any money immediately. It might be maybe 4 years down the road, if then at all.
Yeah.
If they're gonna have to pay for an attorney,
Right.
wait for all that time, and
Plus, it's gonna cost us money too, because of
gonna
course
cost
we
us
are
money
gonna
too.
have to hire an attorney to fight back. I mean, if they decided to file a case against us, you would probably be staying in the jail.
Yeah.
But I would bail you out. I would try to bail you out. Then it goes to the hearing, and
Right.
all that. But the family decided that.
they try to keep the authorities here try to keep it out of the court system.
Yeah, right.
If the families can come.
Because
to
they
an
know how
agreement.
complicated it's going to be, and how.
4 years.
Yeah, I mean, plus it's gonna take a long time. All that,
Attorney fees.
yeah,
everything
attorney
else.
fees, and plus they needed the money. So yeah, we negotiated. We talked to the family, and at first we were all nervous because they would have not released because he was as soon as it happened, when they cleared up all the road, they took him to the police station and they put him under, they call it under custody. So they would have not let him go until we talk to the family, and the family decides if they are to let him go or not, because it's up to them. And then after I talked to the family, they were saying like, yeah, let him go because we also need help, and plus he's also like older, and then we don't want to put him in the jail. He's not gonna survive in the jail,
So, the police report said it was both parties at fault.
Right.
My fault for failure to yield, which I saw them, but I didn't didn't realize they were going that fast, and their fault for going so fast.
Going so fast, and
So-
the police. I kind of heard about the police. They're like, being drunk, and I go, I don't know, but her sister came to the police, said, "Sir, why they're saying that my brother was like drunk? He was not drunk," and like that. But who knows? But she told me later when we were at the barangay that her brother and the passenger was also her brother-in-law. They were saying that they slept very late that night, and they were so tired and they had to wake up early, and because they were from the mountains, like in Maragusan, they had to go to Nabunturan because it happened not so far from where we live, about a couple of minutes, but it happened in the main highway, not into our road
They
here.
had to drive. They stayed up too late. I don't know if they were drinking or not, but they stayed up late, and they had to get up early, drive all the way from the mountains to here. So
Yeah, they were tired. That's what her sister was. That's what the sister was saying, that they were tired. And I could have, but as like instead of like making it like, they were tired, so it should have been your fault. The blaming should just be stopped, because it's about making the solution, solving the problem, instead of like like whose fault is it? Who's that? It happened. The accident happened already, and who wants the accident? And
I was very thankful that we could resolve it. Number one, we were just really stressed out about the condition of those two guys.
right.
And they're young and healthy, and
Yeah. The
So
driver was only 20 years old, and the passenger was 19 years old, and I was thinking they're dead, and we would feel so bad forever for, like, even though it's also part of our fault, and they have also some fault, it's still gonna make us feel terrible, because they're so young and their life was cut short, and it's such a miracle that they survived. I mean, the passenger was in a total bad shape. They're the one that the people were saying, well, he's totally dead, he's really dead.
He looked
And
like he was.
and the driver was like also dying. That's what everybody, that's why the
what it
family
looked
were the family were screaming, because the news that they got was like they're dead. But so, oh my God, it was a mess. It was
terrible.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't even talk about it, like, for like how many days, and it's been a week, and then I did not want to even talk about it until those two guys are there is an improvement, and the passenger, the driver is going to have a because his leg is broken, so they're gonna put like a stainless what
There's
is
a piece of metal that holds
Yeah.
his leg together.
to his leg. But the passenger, they may get out soon from the hospital.
Tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, so I hope so, because the material things can be found later, or it's still like that, but the life of those two guys, and most of the thing that we are so thankful about is we are alive and we did not get hurt.
Yeah, and I'm also thankful that I didn't have to stay in jail. I mean, Philippine
Yeah.
jails are nothing like the U.S. jails.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
that too.
they're so crowded. You're lucky if you can find a place on the floor to sit or lay, and you sleep on the floor. they don't feed you. Your family has to bring food
Right.
and feed you.
And if I bring food, like for example, you are in the jail and then I bring you food, you have to share it with the
Yeah.
other jailmates
Yeah,
and
right.
sharing each other, you know, the
So,
food.
share it with everybody you're there with. Unsanitary. The floor is filthy. I mean, it's terrible. It's
Yeah,
pretty
I
terrible.
could have not let that happen. I was there at the police station and I was thinking, oh my God, if the family is gonna decide to file a case against us, I would not live there, you
If I would
know.
have survived the jail, I would have had COVID. You know, it's just a rampant COVID place. But somebody asked, do we miss the U.S. as far as the structure, the signal lights, the crosswalks, the driving and everything? Definitely yes. There are no laws here. There may be laws, but they're not enforced.
Right.
You know, there might be a crosswalk once in a while, but there's no speed limits. There's no traffic officers. They don't monitor the speed. When you get on the road, you just go as fast as you want to do that.
Yeah, whoever the rules here is like, I mean, probably in the cities there are some like speed limits, but if you just go in a small town like our town, you know, there's no speed limit. People go, and then whoever gets the chance, if they will squeeze in, then they will do.
Yeah.
There's no rules. The rules is not being applied because a lot of the drivers here that drive around,
have license,
They
they
don't
do.
have license. They don't have like what you call that, like school, a driving school, like the rule of the rules, you know, like they don't have a test.
So there's no driving courtesy here. There's no driving etiquette here. It's just dog eat dog, man, basically. And
Yeah, and that's why I keep telling him that, because you know every time we drive, you know, he always, oh, why did he cross in front of me? Like he gets frustrated, and I go, just remember that, be careful, because the way they drive here, it's so crazy, and just all you can do is be careful and try not to, if they are passing you, then just try to slow down. But you know, sometimes you can't really help
you
it.
know, I drove truck in most of the big cities in the U.S. I mean, I drove in San Francisco, drove in Los Angeles, Chicago, big cities all across the nation, and some of them are terrible. L.A., the traffic is horrible. You know, Chicago, the streets are old and small and narrow, and you know, it's horrible. That's all like Sunday school compared to driving here.
Yeah, I mean, the
mean,
driving here is really bad. You really have to be very careful, and it seems like whoever get the bigger vehicle is like, okay, get out of my way. You better get out of my way. And if you are in a smaller vehicle, you should stay away from them, because
Stay away from buses, trucks,
pickups,
pickups,
SUVs.
because they'll run you right off over.
Yeah,
They
that's
just
why.
force you off the road to go do what they want. And
Yeah,
you know,
I
I hate to badmouth, and I'm not really badmouthing them. I just
The
it's just
reality, that's
telling
the
truth,
yeah,
man.
the reality.
The driving culture
Yeah.
here is horrible.
Yeah, that was what happened really was a terrible day. And you know, of course, well, now that our multi-cab is being held at the police station, now we're figuring out about, we don't even want to like even bother to fix it.
Well, it's destroyed. I mean, it still runs, the cab and the motor's
Yeah.
okay.
But
you
we
know,
don't want to fix it,
but you
because
can tell by the pictures.
yeah, we are very thankful is because we are alive, and you know, we can still, there's tricycle in here, you know, we can, it's not totally like bad for us, because
Yes, tricycles come by the front of the.
you know, we, so our
So at least everybody's alive. They did get hurt, but they're not permanently disabled or.
right, I would have felt bad if, you know, both of their legs were cut off, or they got, that would have been terrible. But from the way they look, just especially the people in there was saying like, oh, they're, you know, they're dead. Can you imagine like thinking that for the rest of our lives, like knowing that, you know, those
Well,
people,
if they would have hit us in the driver's door, we'd have all been dead.
oh, we're all,
Because, you know, they would have hit that metal cab, came through the window. Instead, they hit the side there and went through that fiberglass canopy, which I think broke their fall or helped a little bit. But
yeah, and
we've been really
Yeah,
stressed
it was
out the
a-
last week.
yeah, very stressful for the last week. Last week our emotions were like up and down, especially like
Mostly down.
most, yeah, I know, mostly down. But I told Dennis that you know, we can, because he was saying about, oh, it's gonna hold us back, and I go, yeah, I know that, but that's only like that. We are lucky that we did not get hurt. I could not imagine if he got his leg broken, or if it was me that had were injured and had to stay in the hospital. But
We don't want to depress you with our tragedy, but
yeah, because
it's real life.
it's real
reality.
life, and we even Dennis said, I don't know if we even tell them about what really happened about the accident. And I go, well, I want them to know, because that's the truth. I can't just go in front of camera as if nothing happened, and I want them to know that that was happening, because usually our video is all about like our daily life, our normal life.
Well,
and
this
then
is our daily life on that day.
I hope that both of the patients are gonna get out of the hospital very soon, and then we can just focus on what we're gonna do, the multi-cab especially, because it was damaged. It was
Yeah, the bed's all twisted up on it, like sideways.
yeah, that's why my husband said we'll just sell it as it is, rather than spending who knows how much the mechanic are gonna ask from it.
Try
So
to get
we'll just
something out of it.
yeah,
I was just so shocked when they hit, and it almost turned over the multi-cab they hit.
yeah, I
so
know
hard.
it could have been a blaming from each other, this and that. It was all later that after it happened, whose fault is this and that. And I go, it's not gonna be all about whose fault it is. We can blame the TV guy because that's when we were
That's what
coming.
we stopped to check on the TV guy.
Yeah, the TV guy is we could blame him too, because if we did not have to stop at that place, then we would have not in the accident and had to, so it already happened. Nobody wants to have an accident, and now we just have to be. I told just keep telling myself and Dennis that we
Could've
should
been
just
much worse.
it could have been much worse.
No broken necks.
No,
Nobody's paralyzed. Nobody's.
Yeah, because what happened really was that we stopped by at the TV guy, and then so of course I took off my seatbelt because I was gonna get out. But I saw him outside the house, outside their house. So I just asked him, like, instead of getting out the multi-cab, I just asked him, like, when is he gonna be here? Because he always just promised. So we wanna make sure that he really gonna come here, and so he said, oh, this afternoon. So after he said that, okay, we left, and then as we were driving, of course I was putting on the seatbelt, and then busy doing pulling the seatbelt, and as soon as the seatbelt like clicked, and then it happened, and I was like just all
as she
shocked.
snapped her
Yeah, just
seatbelt.
as I snapped the seatbelt, it happened. I mean, I could have been possibly thrown in the window because of the impact. The impact was so hard, and I was just lucky that I put the seatbelt was attached to me when it happened. And oh my God, it was. I mean, I remember it was so terrible. It was very traumatic, and oh my God, it's like it feels like it's a bad dream.
We
Like,
were in shock for 4 or 5 days, and
we were just in
just
shock.
now, coming out of it.
Yeah,
realizing it.
and that's why I mean that video that we uploaded like a few days ago, like was the video of obviously our multi-cab was still there.
But you uploaded the video after the wreck.
Yeah, the video was already made, before the accident happened, because that obviously when Samilin was still here, my family was still here, and so that's why we were saying that maybe we will just release this video while we are recovering from the traumatic experience.
Yeah, I guess the most dangerous thing here to do is drive. Get on the highway and drive. Whether you're riding a bus, because they drive like maniacs, man.
Yeah, the bus drives so fast too. That's why there's bus accident like almost every other day or every few days. I hear it in the news. But
I'm sure it's different in the bigger cities. I mean, I'm sure Manila and Davao and Cebu have some traffic cops, but there's no streetlights hardly anywhere. There's none here. No streetlights, no nothing. No street signals, no street lights, and if you're gonna I just refuse to drive at night here, because many
very
times.
dangerous
Many
to
times
drive.
I've left here to go downtown at night, driving along, and I'll have to slam the brakes on because there's some guy doing 15 miles an hour in the left-hand lane with no lights. No brake lights, no tail lights, no nothing.
It's more dangerous here. I mean, it's dangerous enough to drive in the daytime. It's much more worse in the during nighttime if you drive, because there's all kinds of drivers there or motorcycles that don't even have a tail light, and some of them they have headlights, and or else if they have both headlights that works, maybe they don't even turn it on because maybe they forgot or.
Yeah. Yeah, half of them don't even turn the lights on if they have them.
So it's just, I guess that's all we could share with you for now. I mean, because we're still recovering from what happened, and I'm sure we can get through this, and this is just.
Well, sorry we didn't cheer you up this time, but this is life.
Yeah, I'm keeping in touch with the sister of the driver, and her brother-in-law. She's the one I'm like keeping in touch with for all the updates on how they are doing, and hopefully they are gonna get out of the hospital soon.
Yeah, and the other fortunate thing was Maribin wasn't with us.
Yeah, thankfully.
She
Everybody was saying that she was so lucky that she was not in the multi-cab, because she could have been there and she could have been hurt so bad if not killed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna end the video. I know it's not the video that is like like fun but we are gonna try to be as normal as we can when all this, but that's why we waited for a week to even talk about
get
this.
our wits about us.
Yeah, we will see what's gonna happen in a couple of days, and hopefully those guys are gonna get out, and we will let you know also the update on. Thank you for watching, and
Thanks for watching.
take care, all of you. Be careful,
safe.
stay safe, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.